also have Todd Wedlow on the calendar.
Oh, yeah. I'm
State
sorry.
filed a motion to revoke bond. He has 3
Next
cases.
page. Yeah.
Good morning.
So,
Good morning, y'all.
Good morning.
Renee Williams as well, Your Honor.
Okay. All right. I'm confused. So, Mr. Wedlow, there's a motion to revoke bond. Why isn't he in court?
And Your Honor, I spoke with counsel this morning, and I informed him that I would ask for him to appear in person because it was a motion to revoke bond.
And it should have said that on the notice.
Judge, my understanding is Mr. Wedlow, I did speak to him about that. Typically, we do motions to revoke bond.
Not typically.
But he informed
all
me
the time.
Excuse me, ma'am. You didn't request that. And remember last time we had spoken? I didn't know. I had no idea. I'm not to disrespect the court.
And so
Mr. Lynch, Mr. Wedlow, I always say if it's a motion to revoke bond, you're coming in person. Also, the notice says that if it's a motion to revoke bond, it's in person in the courtroom. Also, Mr. Lynch, I'm gonna need you to say it with your chest. We don't just typically do it in court for a motion to revoke bond. We do it all the time. Motion to revoke bond, they're gonna appear in person in the courtroom. Now, the last time we had one and you said, well, if they're appearing in person, I want all the witnesses in person. And I said, bet, we can do that, no problem, all day. But or if I'm gonna do a motion to revoke bond, I wanna be able to lay my eyes on the people. I wanna know that if I grant them.
That's what you say?
Mr. Wedlow, you need to mute your microphone while the judge is talking.
You can.
That's probably what the problem is. He talking while somebody else is talking. He not listening to the part that said, you're supposed to be in the courtroom when I do a motion to revoke bond. Because people talk too much. They talking while I'm talking or somebody else is talking, trying to give them instructions. They're not listening because they talk about what they want to think about.
Excuse me, ma'am. I'm so sorry.
No.
Mr. Wedlow.
Now it's not the time. You don't want this talk. Now it's not the time. Because if you wanted to say something to me, you would have followed the instructions that I gave you, which was to be in court. All right, now what were you saying, Ms. Ponder, about this motion to revoke bond?
Your Honor, the state is still requesting that Mr. Wedlow appears in person. We have several cases on the calendar, but the state is making that request.
Now, Mr. Lynch, may I hear from you?
Judge, we would consent to have this, or we would to have this continue to a further date and have.
I bet you would, other than me sending out a bench warrant and having county Uber pick up Mr. Wedlow. I'm sure you would consent to that.
Judge, so I understand the court
has 2 cases that have violent content. He has battery cases in 2024, and he has another case of battery in that's a 2024 case. And so he's already got 2 cases pending. If his bond conditions say what I think they say, then it is more likely than not he has violated his bond conditions, just on the fact that he picked up another case after the first case. So, Mr. Wedlow, is he in the state of Georgia?
Yes, Judge.
Where is he?
I believe he's a resident of Clayton County, Judge.
Well, he needs to get his resident self into court within the next 20 minutes before I have to send county Uber to go get him. And I am telling you, it will not be a 5-star ride.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. All right, next case is Renee Lynette Williams. Lynette Williams?
I believe she is.
She's active. I'm just waiting to see if they have an announcement. I think they need to talk to all of the females, so they haven't spoken to her yet. I'll go ahead and give you a conference on that. All right, let's do this. Let's go ahead and get those pleas done right away, and then you can go back to speaking with people. So Gomillion, and Smith and Smith.
Can we start with Smith and Smith? And I'm just,
that's fine.
If Mr. Tipton could just, I think we're on the same page, but if you could just clarify exactly the terms of that sentence. My understanding, I sent you a message with my understanding of how that would be reflected. I just want to get your confirmation.
Excuse me, ma'am.
Hey, Mr. Wedlow, as your attorney, I would advise not just directly getting at the judge. And if you have a question that is relevant to you coming up here, please text it to me and I will.
Can you please send me your number again, sir? Excuse me, I don't mean to disrupt the court or anything of that nature.
Yes, sir. You got the same phone that we spoke on?
Yes, sir.
All right, look, I'm gonna send you my number in the chat on this. Look in the chat, okay?
Yes, sir.
Go ahead and mute your mic.
Let me know when y'all are ready, Mr. Lynch. Is this Wedlow? We ready?
Judge, we are ready, although I do have to put something on the record.
Go ahead.
So Judge, Mr. Wedlow is here present in court.
Good.
So we would, though, object to any virtual testify of the alleged victim testimony and the alleged victims. I believe that
Okay, y'all waived that when he failed to show up as announced, and the court has had to wait for him to get here.
okay.
Y'all were willing to go for it as long as I would let him stay at home, but now because I made him come in, which was what the notice says, now you want to bring that, no, we don't want any virtual testimony. I'm not playing games, Mr. Lynch. You can put it on the record, and then if you want to appeal it, you go ahead and do that, but we're not doing this.
And I understand, Judge, but for the record, I would just say that I didn't consent to any witnesses testifying virtually and I didn't expect him to appear virtually. That certainly wasn't my instruction. And so that is just, we do object to that for the record, Judge.
Okay, move, let's go on. All right. State of Georgia versus Taj Brandon Wedlow.
Yes, Your Honor. The first witness, Your Honor, that the state will call, we'll just ask for if counsel and Mr. Wedlow can go to the table so that our witness can stand at the podium to speak. Thank you. At this time, Your Honor, the state will call Officer Freeman.
All right, Officer Freeman, raise your right hand for me. You solemnly swear or affirm any testimony you give in this matter will be true.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Your witness, Ms. Ponder.
Okay, thank you. And Officer Freeman, if you can just stand a little closer, I had a hard time hearing you. Okay.
Hey, and I'm sorry to interrupt, but before we proceed, I just wanted to check. Can I be heard through this microphone? Yes, I need
Yeah,
to.
I hear you, Mr. Lynch.
Yes, I can hear you, Mr. Lynch. May I proceed, Your Honor?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. All right, Officer, may you please state your first and last name, please?
Dalvin Freeman.
Can you spell your first and last name for the record?
First name is spelled D-A-L-V-I-N. Last name Freeman. F-R-E-E-M-A-N.
Thank you, Your Honor. One moment. Just two separate motions. I want to make sure that I'm on. Your Honor, before we begin with this witness, may I place something on the record, please?
Yes.
Okay, thank you, Your Honor. In this case, the state versus Taj Wedlow, case 2024 CR 06670. As the court is aware, the state did file a motion to revoke bond in that case, and also case 2024 CR 06671 and 006670. Your Honor, the state would like to bring to the court's attention State's Exhibit A, order for bond. Your Honor, the defendant received a bond for incident date October the 10th, 2023. He received this bond on October the 11th, 2023 from Magistrate Court Judge Cooper. Part of his bond conditions, Your Honor, for the offense of battery family violence was to stay away absolutely, directly, or indirectly by mail, email, pager, telephone, or third person from the person, home, workplace, and immediate family members of any witness, including but not limited to Cedric Wedlow. Condition number 2, not return or go upon the premises located at 8571 Taylor Road. Condition 3, the defendant may schedule an appointment with the sheriff of Clayton County to accompany the defendant to his residence or location for which he has been excluded by this order to permit the defendant to retrieve items. And then number 4, the defendant must not violate any laws while on bond. And that is for case 2024 CR 06670 for battery family violence. Your Honor, may I proceed with this witness?
Any objection to Exhibit A, Mr. Lynch?
No, Judge.
All right, it will be admitted and you may proceed.
Okay, thank you. Officer Freeman, how are you currently employed, sir?
I work for the Clayton County Police Department.
Okay, and being employed with the Clayton County Police Department, does it give you the authority to issue citations?
Yes,
Does it give you the authority to do you have arrest powers?
yes,
And are you post certified?
yes,
I'm sorry.
yes,
Okay, I want to draw your attention to May 28th, 2024, were you in fact employed with the Clayton County Police Department on that day?
yes,
Okay, and did you respond to an incident location 8571 Taylor Road?
yes.
Okay. And do you recall when you responded to this location, what was it for?
It was for a domestic dispute.
Okay, did you have any contact with any individuals?
Yes, I did.
Okay, and who did you have contact with?
I had contact with Eric Wetlow, a Taj Wetlow, and a Cedric Wetlow.
Okay, so you had contact with Eric Wetlow, Todd Wetlow, and also Cedric Wetlow at this location?
Yes,
Okay, and did you have an opportunity to speak with, and what did you learn during your course of investigation after speaking with Mr. Eric Wetlow?
well, Eric Wetlow told me that Taj had attacked him and punched him in the face multiple times. And all started because Taj was trying to be in his business while he was on the phone.
Okay, give me one moment. And at this particular incident, did you observe or notice any type of marks on Mr. Eric Wetlow?
No, I did not.
Okay, and did you have an opportunity to speak to Mr. Taj Wetlow?
I did.
Okay, and what did you learn from Mr. Taj Wetlow?
Taj explained to me that Eric was talking about him on the phone, and so he got upset and wanted to confront him about the situation. But I think he said also that Mr. Eric had a broom in his hand and he tried to use it defensively against him.
Okay, and did you arrest anyone on that day?
Yes,
Okay, who did you arrest on that day?
Taj Wetlow.
Okay, and why did you arrest Mr. Taj? What did you arrest Mr. Taj Wetlow for?
I arrested Taj Wetlow for simple battery, family violence.
Okay, and how did you come up with that decision?
So based on the testimony that he gave to me and from the testimony that Eric gave as well, Taj admitted to punching Mr. Eric Wetlow. He also tried to tell me that he told me that Eric pointed the I think it was a broom, pointed the broom at him. He never hit him, but he also told my partner on scene that Eric did hit him. So he basically like he told me a different story than what he told my partner on scene. Also, Cedric Wetlow was there as well to testify as well.
Okay, no further questions from this witness. Thank you, Your Honor.
Cross-examination, Mr. Lynch.
I'm sorry, I just wanted to make sure I got the date correct, officer. What date were you just referring to when this allegation allegedly happened?
I think it was in May. I'm not sure the exact date. I know it was May, I think.
No further questions at this time.
All right. All right, anything else for this officer?
Yes, Your Honor. He was the same officer for another incident,
Okay,
but nothing further on this case, Your Honor, for this officer, but I would just ask for him to hold.
okay.
Your
All
Honor,
right, officer, if you could just have a seat for me. And let's call the next witness.
Your Honor, the state will call Mr. Eric Wetlow.
Mr. Wedlow, raise your right hand for me. Mr. Eric Wedlow.
Right here. Can you see me?
All right.
Hello?
I see you.
Okay.
Well, I did
Okay.
see you. Yeah, there you go. Raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear or affirm any testimony you give in this matter will be true?
Yes.
Okay, you can put your hand down. If you can
Yes.
reposition yourself to
Okay.
somewhere where your Wi-Fi will pick up better, that would be good too.
Yeah, that's what I thought I did when I moved in the kitchen, but let me try back here. Hopefully it'll work better back here because it keeps going in and out.
Your witness,
This
Miss.
better?
Yeah, your witness, Miss Ponder.
Okay, thank you. May you please state your first and last name?
Eric Wetlow.
And may you spell your first name for me, please, and your last name.
ERICWEDLOWE.
Okay, and I want to bring your attention to May 28th, 2024. Do you recall the police coming to 8571 Taylor Road?
Yes,
Okay. Do you recall who called the police?
I did.
Okay, and why did you call the police, sir?
I was assaulted by my nephew.
Okay, and did you provide that
Taj.
same? I'm sorry, and what is your nephew's name?
Taj Wetlow.
Okay, and did you provide that when you say assaulted, what exactly did he do?
He punched me in the face.
Okay, and so was that information provided to law enforcement on that day?
Yes.
No further questions from this witness, Your Honor.
All right, cross-examination, Mr. Lynch.
None at this time, Judge.
All right, Mr. Eric Wedlow, just hold your excused at this time, but don't go anywhere. Ms. Ponder, your next witness.
Your Honor, the state has no additional witness for this. Can I just have one moment? Your Honor, the state will call Officer Freeman back to the stand.
Okay. Officer Freeman, you're still under oath. Your witness, Ms. Ponder.
Thank you. Officer Freeman, I want to bring you to the incident date, December the 26th, 2024. Were you in fact employed with the Clayton County Police Department on this day?
Yes,
And did you respond again to 8571 Taylor Road?
yes.
And why did you respond to this incident location?
I got a call about somebody in the backyard of Eric Wetlow's home. He believed it was his nephew, Taj, who's not supposed to be there.
Okay, and when you arrived on scene, did you make contact with anyone?
I did make,
Okay, who did you make contact with?
when I first arrived on scene, I made contact with Eric Wetlow.
Okay, and what happened?
He explained to me that he believes Taj is in his backyard, in his shack, I think it was, or his trailer, whatever. And so I went back there and I, in fact, did locate Taj in the back of the home. Also, Eric did have paperwork showing that Taj is not supposed to be anywhere around him or on his premises, according to the family violence order.
Okay, and did you make contact? You stated you did make contact with Mr. Taj Wetlow?
Did,
Okay, and did you place him under arrest?
I did
Okay, and did you and what did you charge him with?
violation of a family violence order. He also
Okay.
about the order as well.
Okay, no additional questions from this witness, Your Honor.
Cross-examination.
On that incident date, officer, there was no evidence that Mr. Mr. Taj Wedlow actually made contact with either of the home residents. Is that correct?
I mean, that's how he got in his backyard. He got to be on his property.
My question is, the allegation was that he was in the shed in the backyard, not that he had made contact or there was any kind of violent incident. Is that fair to say?
Mhm.
Okay. And were you wearing a body cam during your investigation?
I was.
Okay. Do you know whether that body cam has been preserved?
Yes, it has.
And as far as the last incident date that we spoke about, were you wearing a body cam during that incident date as well?
Yes,
Do you know whether that's been preserved?
it was.
No additional questions at this time.
All right, so I have a question. So Officer Freeman, is the shed, whatever the structure was in the back, is that still located at 8571 Taylor Road?
To my knowledge, it should still be there, but that's where I located him at that time on that day.
No, I mean, was that the address of where you found him?
Yes.
Okay, so it wasn't like it was next door or somebody else's property?
No, it was.
Okay, and did you see the conditions? Was he allowed at that address? Was Mr. Taj Wedlow allowed at 8571 Taylor Road?
No, it was not.
Okay. Anything else from the state?
Nothing from the state, Your Honor. I would just ask if this witness can be excused.
Yes. Officer Freeman, you're excused. Please be safe. Thank you.
At this time, Your Honor, the state will call Mr. Eric Wetlow again.
All right. Mr. Eric Wedlow, you're still under oath, sir.
All right, Mr.
Okay.
Wetlow, I just want to bring your attention to December the 26th, 2024. Did you call the police on this particular day?
Yes.
Okay. And why did you call the police on this particular day?
Because I went out my car and I heard my nephew singing in my grandpa's camper. It's an old camper my grandpa used to have. It's on the property. It's right behind the house. And then I went back in the house. I didn't confront him. I went back in the house, called the police, and called 911. Told him to come. He's not supposed to be here. And they showed up, and I directed officers where he was at. They went back there, knocked on the camper, and asked was he in there. He came out. And that's when they arrested him. I showed him the paperwork that he's not supposed to be here. He was trespassed. He violated the PTO I had, protection order against him. He had violated that, and he should be, arrested.
Okay. And just so that we're clear, this shed or the camper is located at 8571 Taylor Road.
Yes.
Okay. No further questions, Mr. Eric Wetlow. Thank you.
All right. Cross-examination.
None at this time, Your Honor.
All right. Next witness.
Your Honor, the state rests at this time.
All right. All right. We're gonna have an argument. What we doing?
Your Honor, I would just briefly
Hold on a second. Mr. Lynch, do you have any evidence or testimony to present on behalf of Mr. Wedlow?
One moment, Your Honor.
Okay.
We do not have evidence to present, Judge. I'm sorry about that.
All right, I'll hear argument.
Yes, Your Honor. In the case 2024 CR 06670, the state will request and respectfully request this court to grant the motion to revoke bond. As the court has heard testimony and as the court has heard testimony from Mr. Eric Wetlow, which is the uncle of Mr. Taj Wetlow, who was the victim in case 2024 CR 06671. Also, you heard from Officer Freeman. In addition to the bond orders, Your Honor, it was stated that the defendant is not to have contact with Mr. Cedric Wetlow. As you heard from the top officer's testimony, he indicated that when he responded to the May 2024 incident date, all were present: Mr. Cedric Wetlow, Eric Wetlow, and Todd Wetlow. That is one of the violations of his bond conditions, not to have contact with Mr. Cedric Wetlow. In addition, Your Honor, another bond condition was to not return or go upon the premises located at 8571 Taylor Road, in which he did on 2 occasions after these bond orders were given. He went May the 28th, 2024, in which there was physical contact with his uncle, in which he struck his uncle multiple times in the face. And then again, December 26, 2024, when he was in the backyard in a jumper. Also, another condition was the defendant must not violate any laws while on bond. And so for that, Your Honor, the state would ask this court to revoke his bond.
All right, Mr. Lynch.
Your Honor, I would ask that you consider not revoking Mr. Wedlow's bond at this time. Mr. Wedlow is 28 years old. I know that he is actively seeking employment. And as far as the allegations that were testified to today, he is presumed innocent until proven guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. And he would request that his case go on the next trial calendar so that he can have the right to confront his accusers. Mr. Wedlow, as you saw today, presented himself to court voluntarily. And so that should indicate to the court that he is not running away from this. He wants to get this resolved. Judge, he just looks forward to his day in court where he can contest these charges and have all his rights to confront the witnesses against him and to testify if he so chooses to, Judge. Obviously, there's 2 sides to every story. Mr. Wedlow exercises his right to remain silent today. However, he does look forward to the trial when he will have an opportunity through his attorney to try to tell that story, Judge. You know, I don't believe that Mr. Wedlow has a history of violent charges that I'm aware of. I think he may have a burglary, which you consider that violent, but I don't think there's a lengthy history of violent offenses. And so, Judge, we would ask that you allow him to remain on bond until at such time as we can get these cases tried in front of a jury.
And Your Honor, if I could be heard, I know that counsel.
Hold on just a second. Hold on just a second. 1 second. I'll be right back. All right, Ms. Ponder.
Your Honor, the state would just like to provide the court with some information based upon counsel's statement regarding the defendant's criminal history. The defendant was under first offender for burglary in 2019, in which he was on probation for 4 years. He just got off probation. He has a criminal trespass conviction. He has now 4 open cases, Your Honor. He just got out of jail this weekend. He was charged with disorderly conduct, and that incident happened on May the 10th, 2025.
All right.
So, Judge,
You brought up his record. You opened that door, Mr. Lynch.
I didn't, and I understand what you're saying, Judge. I didn't launch an objection, but I understand she referenced the open cases in a disorderly conduct case and the burglary that I mentioned. So I understand that, but I didn't hear a history of violent offenses.
Okay, here's the thing. So Mr. Wedlow is entitled to be innocent until proven guilty. He has not been proven guilty of the underlying offenses. But what the testimony of the officer and of Mr. Eric Wedlow shows is that he has violated his bond conditions. The bond conditions say not to go on the premises at 8571 Taylor Road. He's on there. The bond conditions say not to have contact with Eric or Cedric. He's had contact. The bond conditions say not to pick up additional charges. He's done that. And not just once, but more than once. And so with that being said, while he is innocent of the underlying charges, he has committed bond violations. And with respect to that, not to mention you argued, and you have to be very careful with your words, because you argued that he voluntarily came into court. Well, did he though? Because really, I had to tell him that if he didn't come in, he was going to be picked up by the sheriffs through county Uber. So my notice said voluntarily come in, or not even voluntary. I'm compelling you to come in person in court. I'm just be honest. I'm telling you, come in court, and he did not do that. And then I had to wait for him to get here for us to have the hearing. And then once we get here, then we're shifting and we're changing again. I've heard enough based on the testimony that's been presented where, yes, he is innocent of the underlying charges, but did he violate his bond conditions? Yes. Did he violate his bond conditions and present a picture sufficient for the court to find that it is necessary to revoke his bond? Yes. And so at this time, based on the evidence and testimony presented, Mr. Wedlow's bond will be revoked. He'll be taken into custody until such time as his cases are resolved.
Judge, we would request, if it's possible at this point, if he can be.
He's an active inmate, and I believe he's already on the next available trial calendar. So as an active inmate, he'll go to the top of the list anyway.
Thank you, Judge.
All right. All right. Give me an order.
Am I dismissed? This is father.
Yes. Anybody connected to the Wedlow case, you're free to go at this time.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you.
All right. Next is.
Damn. I told you to sit your ass down. I told you to sit your ass down.
Mr. Wedlow, I'm hearing you say all of that, sir. You are cussing on camera. Please, before I have to put you in contempt, and that's 10 days, please just mute, get off the call before you start with the craziness. All right. Lord, is nobody.
I'm sorry. I thought I had clicked off.
This has been a very challenging day.